Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Orchid Hut. This is Dana, and today I will be sharing with you a video about a little do-it-yourself project that my husband helped me with a weekend ago, and it's now finished, and I have a good many of my outdoor orchids using the little project that we did. So let me give you a little bit of the backstory here, because there was a reason that I actually needed to do this. Some of my orchids had previously been sitting on the ground, and that turned out to be a really bad idea. The snails were able to get to the plants much easier, and even at night, some of the night critters were beginning to dig in the pots. So having orchids on the ground for me just simply wasn't working. And I also needed more space for my outdoor orchids, and I didn't really want a bunch of baskets and plant stands and things like that just sort of cluttering up the area. So I came up with this idea to add a shelf to the side of the orchid hut. And the shelf is made from a cedar board, and then it has shelf brackets underneath that actually will support really nicely a closet rod, so that I can have additional hanging space under the shelf. And then up above we added some hooks so that I can put a shade cloth across the area. During the fall, the sun kind of comes in under the canopy in between the I guess the tips of the tree limbs and the house roof. And for about 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon, the fall sun is just way too hot. So I needed a way to have a shade cloth here on days that are bright and sunny and still rather warm in the fall here in Southeast Texas. So this is one view of the shelf, and I'll take the camera off of the tripod and give you a close-up view of some of the other elements. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is a close-up of what it looks like under the shelf. You can see the bracket here, and you can see the edge of the shelf. And we put a little trim board at the front of the shelf, just with wood glue and then some very small nails, so that, you know, pots couldn't fall off of the edge of the shelf. And then you can see that the bracket not only supports the shelf, but it has like a little loop at the front that supports the closet rod that I bought. And the closet rod is very lightweight. It's just an aluminum rod that goes the length of the board. And that can be some extra hanging space for orchids, as long as, you know, their roots don't touch the ground beneath. And kind of go up here, and you can see the cedar board, and you can see how the orchids are just lined up on the board, and there's a lot of space left here. Up above I have some of my hanging orchids, and I do have to take the hanging ones down when I water because they would drip. But that's not that big of a problem. I can set them aside or hang them in the tree until they drip and then put them back. And now I'm going to go up above, and this is the gap right here that causes me difficulty. You can see the canopy of the tree is right here, but then there's this gap, and the fall sun just beams through here, you know, for several hours, and there's just unbelievable heat that was coming down on the side of the orchid hut. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. I added some hooks to the ends of the rafter boards, and then I'm able to hook this shade cloth and stretch it across the side of the hut in the afternoon only, so that these orchids can have a little bit of shade. And it's just 40% shade cloth, but I have it doubled, so it's more like 80. And at the end of this video, I will attach a picture of what it looks like when the shade cloth is up. Okay, thanks for watching. And if you learned something from this video or got an idea, please hit the like button, and the subscribe button will be in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Thanks for watching. Until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, there is perfect dappled sun in this area. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon now, and the shade cloth has gone up. You can see where the direct sun is hitting the shade cloth, and that was the sun that was just way too much for the orchids there. There's still a good bit of airflow behind the shade cloth curtain. And there's still a nice bit of dappled sun behind the shade cloth. I think these orchids can be happy now.